Hey folks, the long-awaited and speculated official Legend of Zelda LEGO set has been revealed by Nintendo. A 2-in-1 Great Deku Tree set of both Ocarina of Time and the Wilds era Great Deku Tree. A really smart idea that appeals to both older fans and newer fans alike. I absolutely love it. What I don't love, however, is the price point. My god, LEGO was not this expensive when I was a kid. But alas, it is here, and it's quite cool. This has been coming for a while. Many fans have been expecting it, as we've already seen LEGO Mario and Animal Crossing sets, so it felt like Zelda was inevitably going to happen, given how massive the series is for Nintendo. Now what's really exciting about this set is that it's probably not going to be a one-off Zelda set. It's likely that we'll see more in the future. Zelda series producer Eiji Aonuma mentioned in an interview regarding the LEGO set that the Great Deku Tree is just the first element from the series that they want to represent in the form of LEGO. Whilst not outright confirming anything for sure, it's definitely a strong hint. This got me thinking, what other Zelda sets could we see in the future? Possibly even more than just sets. They've started strong with this Great Deku Tree set, so what could we see next? Be sure to go and grab yourself a snack and drink, folks. Send them in on my socials for a chance to be featured right here. Subscribe if you're not already, and let's get into this one. The first idea I want to bring to the table is the iconic and well-known Temple of Time. A classic reoccurring Zelda location that would work well for a simple LEGO set. This also has the potential to be another 2-in-1 set, as it could make up both the most recent Temple of Time found on the Great Plateau, half ruined and decayed, but also the classic intact Temple of Time from Ocarina of Time. Two similar temples, but with some parts different. The ruined version would require less pieces to form the gaps, as well as some additional pieces to add in the nature taking over, perhaps with the spirit version of the king atop the temple, whereas the Ocarina of Time version would fill in the gaps, use more pristine additional features to give it a more complete look, and I'm not sure how, but maybe somehow we could build that stunning interior with the sacred stones and Master Sword pedestal. They're both extremely recognisable for old and new players. It'd look stunning and be a solid set. Next up is a classic opening location from one of the best Zelda games, Outset Island from The Wind Waker. Not only is this island a stunning place to base a LEGO set on, but it would work really well if Nintendo ever decided to port and remake The Wind Waker, which has been heavily speculated and desired for quite a while now. Regardless, Outset Island is a stunning scene, an island made up of two main sections, connected by a bridge atop the island peaks, and all round, a really great location to base a LEGO set on. You'll have all the wee houses, the Forbidden Woods, the lookout point where Link wakes up on, maybe even a sleepy Link figure, and possibly even Tetra's pirate ship in the water nearby. How cool would that be? It's a cracking idea, and would sell so well if you ask me. Wind Waker is a very loved game, and this idea would work really well, especially if the Wind Waker gets ported. Now for a Tears of the Kingdom specific idea, which I think is likely to happen given it's the most recent game. The idea is the Imprisoning Chamber. The location where Link and Zelda first find Ganondorf. It's the most iconic Zelda opening in my opinion, and one of the coolest locations in the entire game. It just looks so badass, and a LEGO set replicating this scene would go hard. Just imagine the King of Evil laying there with the green energy seal rising out from his chest, the dark and mysterious rooms surrounding him, and the hero and princess looking out on the scene. This could also work as a 2-in-1 with the ability to swap the scene to Ganondorf rising up, shooting his gloom up into the ceiling, Zelda in the process of falling down, and Link diving to try and grab her. This set would go so hard, and if Nintendo and LEGO do decide to make more Zelda sets, this would surely sell really well. And I'd assume that they want to do some sort of Tears of the Kingdom specific set. If so, I'd love to see this. Looking at another location in The Wind Waker, I reckon Dragon Roost Island would make for an incredibly awesome LEGO set that would sell pretty well. And much like a point I made with Outset Island, if Nintendo do remake or port the Wind Waker to the modern day console, then these locations would be very fresh in mind. They're both already iconic and well known places to Zelda fans, but add on the fresh perspective to fans who have never played Wind Waker, and these are two really good ideas if you ask me. Dragon Roost Island is where we find the game's first dungeon, as well as it being the home of the Rito. It's so well known and iconic due to the massive slender volcano that makes up the island, as well as the sky spirit Valoo who sits at the top. This could have a really cool water base to build the island on, some very neat Rito figures, the King of Red Lions in the water, and of course an awesome LEGO Valoo sitting atop. It'd be really cool and I'd love to see it happen. Now, before I get to the last LEGO set idea, I do need to force in at least one Twilight Princess idea as a certified mega fan. That idea is the Twilight Realm. A dark, gloomy and shadowy set forming the Palace of Twilight and the surrounding smaller islands. I'm in no way saying this would sell as well as the other ideas, as it's a bit specific, but this wouldn't be a video made by me if I didn't somehow bring Twilight Princess into it. So a Twilight Realm LEGO set would be my choice if I could pick. I'd also happily take a Snowpeak Mansion LEGO set, as that's also really cool. In reality, I'd take all of Twilight Princess if it were up to me, but for the sake of this pick, I'm going to say the Twilight Realm, specifically the palace. It would be fairly simple, but look really cool. Last but certainly not least, one LEGO Zelda set that I feel just has to happen is the iconic and always recognisable Hyrule Castle. It's a no-brainer. Hyrule Castle is the landmark of Zelda games, from Ocarina of Time's medieval fairy tale style castle to Twilight Princess's gothic fortress of a castle. But the version I feel we'd be most likely to see is actually the Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom version, but fully restored as it was seen in the past. It's a massive castle, and one that we as the player can actually explore and see every angle of. It's also from the now most popular game in the series, so it's without a doubt the most knowing castle. It's also just an extremely stunning version of Hyrule Castle and would make for an incredibly epic LEGO set. And what's to say this couldn't also have some degree of 2-in-1 to it? Perhaps a ruined version where you use less pieces, and add wreckage and malice to make it appear as it does in the present day Breath of the Wild. Or maybe even a pillar beneath to erect the castle and some additional pieces to replicate the Tears of the Kingdom version. But the main idea here is the fully intact Hyrule Castle from before the Great Calamity. I will admit, it would no doubt be an expensive purchase, but at the same time, it would be absolutely stunning. Now, before we wrap up this video, I teased in the intro, what if there is more than just LEGO sets in the future? We know that there is an incredible range of LEGO video games, some of the best including LEGO Batman, Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jurassic World, and the indisputable best LEGO game, LEGO Star Wars. Granted, these aren't based on already existing video games, but who says that can't change in the future? It could feature every single Zelda game, but that's asking a lot. So maybe just covering the 3D games, as well as a few fan favourite and classic 2D games such as the original Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past and the Minish Cap. Could we ever see a Legend of Zelda LEGO game? A spin-off, of course. I don't want to be debating where in the Zelda timeline the LEGO game shows up, but as a general idea, could it ever happen? Well, I wouldn't say no, but what I would say is that if it's ever going to happen, I think we'd probably see Nintendo's main man Mario get one first. And if that was to sell not too bad, I think we could potentially see a LEGO Zelda game one day in the future. Thanks a ton for watching. If you enjoyed, then be sure to drop a cheeky wee like down below, as well as consider subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content. What do you think of my ideas for future LEGO sets? Would they sell out, or do you perhaps have any ideas of your own? I'd love to hear down below in the comments. As always, a massive and very much appreciated thank you goes to my channel supporters. Your support really helps to make my videos all the more possible. So if you'd like to become an official channel supporter and be a part of making all of this possible, all whilst getting yourself access to my weekly inside scoop post, your name at the end of all of my videos, and a shout out upon joining, then check out the supporting links down below. My Discord server and social medias are also down there if you'd like to keep up to date with me. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day or night, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.